Hello, today we are going to take our butternut squash and I'm going to show you how to peel it and how to cut it. So you have a couple of options when you go to the store. You can purchase a store or farmer's market. You could purchase a whole butternut, which tends to be a little bit more cost effective when in season. Because there's a little work involved. So this will take a little manpower on your and woman power on your end in the kitchen. The other option is you can buy frozen butternut squash. I would recommend that for times when we're out of butternut season, and just know that it can get a little bit mushy when it's cooked, but it's a good alternative for non-butternut season. And then the other option you have is to buy pre-cut butternut, and you'll see it in a clamshell or a plastic bag at the grocery store in the cooler section of your produce department. And that is a really convenient and handy way to eat butternut. If this is a barrier for you, this was a barrier for me for years, I will add. But if this is a barrier, just going through the hassle of peeling it or cutting it, or just knowing yourself and knowing I'll buy this and it'll sit on the counter for months, right? Go for the pre-cut butternut. It costs a little bit more, but it does save you time and energy in the kitchen, and it ensures that you will eat what you buy. So let's get started. What you're going to need is a butternut, cutting board, a peeler, a strong peeler, I think. Maybe they all work, we'll see. And then a chef's blade, and then a storage container if you're not eating your butternut right away. So the first thing you're going to do is peel it. And contrary to what a lot of people believe, you can actually peel a butternut with a peeler. And so you're just going to place your butternut down, run across, and continue to peel. And I'm going to quickly do some of this so that I can show you a demo. And you can see that beautiful orange flesh coming through. So butternut squash is really good. All squash, winter squashes, are good for supporting your immune function. They're really high in fiber, which is a prebiotic that essentially feeds the good bugs in your gut. So the probiotics, so that they can proliferate and become higher and stronger in numbers and in variety to help you live a happy, healthier life. So having good gut health, we know, has been proven to support our immune function. It supports a healthy mood and supports proper elimination. And the list goes on and on and on and on. We're finding out more every day. So let's get the last of that off there. So it has high in fiber. It's very immune supportive. It's also high in vitamin C, which is another one of our immune supportive ingredients. And it's high in beta carotene. That is where it gets its like yellow orangish color from. And when you're eating foods this color, beta carotene is really important for your body to produce vitamin A. And we need vitamin A for healthy eyes, healthy eyesight. So what I'm going to do now with all of these scraps is, those of you who know me, you know I keep a broth scrap bag. And so I'm going to just take these skins, because this is an organic squash. So I know that there's not a pesticide residue on here. I've washed it. Why not get added nutrients out of it? So I could compost this, or I can add it to my full freezer bag. And then the next time that I make a veggie or a bone broth, I will just take this bag out of the freezer, which has like kale stems, broccoli stems, onion skins, garlic skins, etc. I'll take that out of the freezer and dump it into my crock pot or whatever pot I'm using, and throw it in for added nutrients. There you go. So now that we have peeled our butternut, and I'll get this bit later, but for now, we're going to then take the butternut and be really careful, because they are tough to get through. I'm not going to actually cut it half lengthwise, which a lot of people would do. I'm going to cut it across, because if I cut it into these smaller pieces, it's more manageable. I have something I can hold on to so I don't cut myself. And then I've already started the process. If I want like 1-inch cuts of butternut, I'm going and cut my rings about that size. Okay, so I would cut all of this up, and then I'm going to go through with a spoon, and I'm going to pull out the seeds, scrape out the seeds really. And for those of you who have like a dehydrator, or if you want to in the oven, you can always rinse off and cook your seeds so that you can use them for snacking. All right, so I'm going to get out the flesh, and I'm actually going to get the rest of this flesh out before I cut it all. So that's why I left it in a big chunk. So I've got that flesh out and the seeds as they fly everywhere, because having a messy kitchen can be a really fun kitchen. All right, so I'm going to set those seeds aside for different use. But then what I'm going to do with my butternut here is a little flesh there. Then I can easily start cutting it. So I'm just going to cut it in half. And then I'm just going to cut it into whatever size pieces I would like it for. Now I can use these pieces. I can saute it. If I'm sauteing, I would cut them much smaller. I'm actually going to be making a soup tonight, so I'm keeping them in about 1-inch cubes. And this is the size I would recommend for roasting or for steaming. Again, if I was sauteing, I'd make them a little smaller because it would be a faster cook time. And then once I get through all of the butternut, so it'll be pre-cut, I'm just going to find a storage container. In this case, I'm going to use a reusable bag. I would put all of the cut butternut in here, seal it up, and this will stay for 3 to 5 days in your refrigerator. So the perk of this is I can cut up my butternut and know that I can use it later in the week. I don't have to do all of this at time of making my meal. So I hope that you are inspired by this and you go out and get yourself a butternut. Maybe you try my butternut mac and kale recipe on the website. It's a really good take on mac and cheese, but it's dairy free and uses butternut squash. And let me know how chopping your butternut goes.